Hey friends, welcome back to Hannah's Happy Handcrafts. I'm Hannah, and today we're going to be finishing up our intention pouch. I call these piece pouches like on my Etsy, but they're really just intention pouches. And I do like to make them for different intentions. This one that we started in part one, I am doing for the intention of joy, and I tell you all about these in that part one. So if you did not watch the first video, I'll have that linked up here in the cards and in the description, so you can go watch that before you finish this one. So we already did our embroidery in our spiral, and then we did our beading. So today we're going to be doing the edging, and we are going to be putting in our herbs. So this one I'm going to do chamomile, rose petals, and lavender. I did about a teaspoon of each. And then we'll be putting in some of the merino wool stuffing right here too. But I do start out with going ahead and embroidering a blanket stitch all the way around, about maybe just over halfway before I stuff it. So let's go ahead and do that first. I'm just going to be using the same needle I was using last time, which is a tapestry needle. I'm not sure which size. Maybe about 20 or so. I believe they get, the larger the needle, the smaller the number. Can y'all let me know if that's right? Am I wrong? I think that might be how it's the sizing is. So I'm just going to come in here. I've got my back, which we don't really do anything with. I'm going to put my needle in through this front one right here. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to do it through the back here. I'm going to do it through the back. And I start on the other side of where the ribbon is going to be. And then I'm going to come through, and I'm going to take and wrap that around. And then I've got my first in my blanket stitch. I'm going to try to stay in frame. I feel like I definitely had an issue with that with my last video, or not my last video, but the last, like the part one of this. I definitely had an issue staying in frame, just because I'm getting used to this, and you know, figuring out what's the best setup for different crafts and my eyesight, and just how to figure that all out. I am very new to this, obviously, so thank you very much for sticking with me while I'm, you know, maneuvering the technical aspects of making videos about my crafts. So how are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I hope this spring, if you're watching it in May, which it is May right now, I hope this spring is going well for you. It's been beautiful here, minus the drought. We have been getting a little bit more rain lately, which is nice. But it's been definitely a little bit hard on the garden. Oops. There's only so much that you can water, because rain does have other elements, you know, the fact that it's deep watering slowly, not to mention the things like nitrogen, which are in rainwater, and I would assume other beneficial chemicals. So this is like the easiest part of making the intention pouches. I love a blanket stitch. I like the way it looks. I always like to do a blanket stitch with a messy edge whenever I'm doing any stitching project, to be honest. I just like the look of it. I don't like trying to make things look perfect because I often find that I am not especially detail oriented. So to have something that is already a style that's more forgiving is nice for me. So we're already at just over halfway right here. I'm going to give it like maybe 2 more stitches. And you can do them as close together as far apart as you want these stitches. You know, you want them a certain amount close. I would say this is probably the max you would want to go because you're going to have some herbs in here. And while they're somewhat contained because of the wool, they're still a little bit loose. Okay, so that's just over halfway. And so we're going to go ahead and get our wool right here. And I kind of just pull at it, almost like you're getting ready to do a needle felting project. Get it all kind of blended together. And then I'm just going to open it up. I just kind of like get it into like a flat kind of blob right there. And then I'm going to pour in my herbs. And like I said, I did about a teaspoon of each. These are organic herbs, chamomile, lavender, and rose petals. These, I do grow all of these, but these are not from my garden because I do not grow enough for all of the chamomile, lavender, and rose petals that I use. I use a lot of them. I like to make my own tea. I like to make a lot of healing ointments and things like that for my family. So I just can't grow enough. Not yet, at least. So now I'm just going to continue that on. I've got that stuffed in there. The wool is going to help kind of contain those herbs so that they kind of don't go flying too much. It also adds extra padding. And so that's why I do a mixture. Because I don't want little, herb dust to be coming out, spilling out the sides. Oh, and this is so fragrant. Oh my goodness. It smells so good. And if you see, I like to put the top ribbon here where the spiral starts. So we're coming up on it. I'm going to use this right here. And I'm going to measure off, let's see, you want it to be about that long. I would say about 1 inch. And then extra for the sewing and securing. So this is about, I would say an inch and an inch and a half. Let's say 1.5 inches is about, and that's with it double. So it's 3 inches. So I've got a 3-inch ribbon right here. I'm going to fold it in half. And then depending on how you are using it, if you know you're going to use an ornament, maybe you do it longer and you fold it this way. You know what I'm saying? Oops, you can't see that. Maybe you do it longer and you fold it that way. Depends. But for just generic, the way I do it like this. I'm going to put this in here, right here in the top, right by the top of the spiral. And just situate it until it feels like how you want it, basically. And that feels about right to me. And I'm just pinching it with my fingers right there because I'm almost there with my blanket stitch. And then I'm going in, I'm in where the ribbon is, and I'm switching now to like a running stitch. And some of these I'm doing some back stitches. I really like this to be as secure as possible. So I'm going to do one more forward and then back. And I like to do like 2 rows here because number one, it's lacy, a lacy ribbon, right? So you really want to make sure you're getting all the important bits. Okay, my last one right here. And then I'm going to go through, but I'm only going to go through the first felt piece. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm securing it. I'm going through. I'm coming out right here. I don't know if you can see that. So that I can go ahead, go through the back, and continue on a blanket stitch to finish off this last little bit here. And I think I might have enough to finish, like enough embroidery thread to finish this off without having to change. Which for me, honestly, is the dream. That is the dream. Because I don't like changing thread. I've had, I think it was that my mom suggested, you know, pre-threading and having, you know, so I could put less thread on my needle and just pre-threading and having like 3 or 4 ready to go. I don't know. I might have enough needles to do that. I don't have a giant collection. And that does make sense. I never think to do it. Okay, so I want this to connect with the first blanket stitch right here. So I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to loop it through the top of this first blanket stitch so that it's kind of seamless. You can't tell really necessarily where it starts. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to tie off through the back. I'm going to do 1 tie here, a knot, and then I'm going to go through and out the other side. If you can see that, I don't know. I basically just try to make it so that it is really hard for this to come undone, because that would be unfortunate. I got my thread because it is so short. I got it unthreaded here. And I'm going to tie around 1 more of these little loops here. And I'm going to go through to the other side. And then stretch this out. And then we are done. That is it. So right here we have our joy. Peace pouch. It smells like rose petals, lavender, chamomile. It is this really beautiful salmony. There's another word for this, like coral, maybe coral. It is a really nice salmony kind of coral with the yellow gold beads, the pink threading. And I just think it's lovely. It's beautiful. It's such a cool way to practice intention. And I love holding these and meditating with them. I keep one on my keychain. I love these so much. And there's so many that you can do. I have so many plans to make more intentions. So yeah, I'm excited. This will go up on my shop for anyone that's interested. And oh, it smells amazing. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you had a good time watching it. Again, if you did miss part 1, I will have that link down below in the description. And until next time, have a great day. Bye.